Is the Acura TL a good alternative to a Cadillac or Mercedes? Stay tuned to find out. Find my GoPro that fell off. Yeah, it fell off, but seems to be alright. Hey, it's Kyle coming at you again with another review. Please subscribe for more of these videos. And also, I'm doing some tool review videos coming up as well. But today, let's talk about this 2001 Acura TL. This particular model is a 2001. It's in a beautiful blue. The color on this car is amazing. This particular car has 211,000 miles, which is a little high for a luxury car. But if you look around for these cars, there's quite a few with over 250, 300,000 miles. And this one has held up really well. The interior is awesome. It's all leather. The driver's seat's a little bit worn, but other than that, it's in great shape. And it has every option you could ever ask for. It's got power seats, heated seats, power windows, power mirrors, power everything. It's got a sunroof. It's got 5-speed automatic transmission, which is pretty much unheard of in any other car of this age. The engine and transmission are silky smooth. I've driven a lot of cars, I've owned a lot of cars. This, especially considering the age of it, is just one of my favorites. It has a 3.2 liter V6 engine. I don't know what the power figure is on it, but it's plenty because this thing, it flies, it gets along really, really nice. And once again, pretty much every V6 engine is a very smooth engine, and this one is as smooth as they come. I'm not gonna lie, these things do have known issues with the transmissions in them. Honda 5-speed automatic transmission has a couple of problems with the shift solenoids, and if you look at like Odysseys and other TLs of these years, they are known for that. But there's a lot of them around, they're easy to come by, and they're not too bad to change. But if you can find one with a good, strong transmission like this, even better. Because they will go 300,000 miles. There's plenty of them for sale. Still asking over $2,000 for a 300,000 mile car. This one has the Bose audio system in it, and the radio in it is spectacular. I wish I could play you something over YouTube and it would do it any justice. You do not have to upgrade the radio on this unless you really need Bluetooth connectivity or auxiliary cable. But if you're happy just to put in CDs, this thing is really, really good. Has the radio controls on the steering wheel. This is one of the oldest cars I've ever been in that has the radio controls on the steering wheel. The ride is spectacular. I've driven Cadillacs, I've driven Mercedes, I've driven BMWs. This thing is right there with it. It is just butter, floats down the road, but it's not too floaty. You know, you still feel like it's got really good handling, and it does. It handles great. Brakes are spectacular. This is just a great car. And one thing about these cars is, even though this car is basically 18 years old, being an 01, they're really produced and sold in 2000. Even being as old as it is, the electronics in this have really stood the test of time. I mean, obviously it's not a brand new car, but everything still works in it, which is a lot more than can be said for most Mercedes, that's for sure. You know, they do everything. You've got automatic climate control, which, I mean, you can take it or leave it, but I really like it. It's like, you just set the temperature and it just holds it perfect. It's got the heated seats, they all work perfectly. The only trouble with this car when I got it was the shifter assembly had some type of short in it, where it wouldn't know exactly what gear you would put it in, and it wouldn't know if it was in sport mode. But I fixed it with a $60 part. You know, I just bought another gear shift assembly. I went ahead and installed that, and this thing is going great. Thank you very much. Best thing about having an older luxury car, you don't really have to worry too much about eating inside. If you had a brand new Mercedes, you probably wouldn't want to do that. If you're looking at brand new Acuras, which this isn't, and you're looking at brand new Mercedes, or if you're looking at even old Acuras like this one or older Mercedes, the Mercedes were heavier built car, for lack of a better word. Everything in the Mercedes is just heavier, it's thicker, it feels like it's more quality, and that's true for these older ones too. If you compare this to like a Cadillac, or, you know, especially like a Buick or any other, you know, luxury car of these generations, this thing blows it out of the water. I mean, even the A pillars and B pillars and everything, they don't have plastic on them. They have like a felt type of finish, and there's these wood accents throughout the car that they're real wood. They're not pieces of plastic with a wood sticker on it. These are real wood. Somebody in a factory somewhere cut these pieces of wood and fit them to this car, and they're just beautiful quality. There's little leather accents in the door panels. There's some like little rubber pieces, and there is plastic in this car, but pretty much every car of these years has some plastic in it, and I don't think you could find any 2001 car that doesn't have a piece of plastic on the interior. But all this stuff is held up great. Nothing's broken in it. I really, really like this car. If you're in the market for a car less than $3,000 and you want something that is luxurious, the most luxurious car you can get for that money, I would say that this should be on your short list of options, okay? Because when you're looking at these older cars, you only got $3,000 to spend. A Mercedes, even a 2001 Mercedes, is gonna have probably high miles for a Mercedes. There's just no way you're gonna get one for less than 3,000 with low miles. And with that comes all the Mercedes upkeep. They are definitely not the most reliable cars. And like with anything that's used and has miles on it, you know, certain stuff is just not gonna work like it did when it was new. And I think that this car will have held up a lot better than pretty much any Mercedes of this age. And if we look at Cadillac, right off the showroom floor, I don't think most models of Cadillac of this year were as nice as this car. I've driven plenty of Cadillacs of this generation. You have to remember, this is the pre-CTS style generation, so they are pretty nice, but they just weren't built like this. They're an American GM car, and super mass produced, super cost savings anywhere they could. Obviously they'll have leather and they'll have a lot of really good options, but fact of the matter is, I don't think a GM product is gonna be as reliable as this, whether we're talking about a Cadillac or an Impala or a Cavalier. It just is not going to be the car that this is. If you're talking about like a Cadillac of, you know, this age, so your options are really going to be something like a DeVille or a DTS or a DHS. Obviously there are higher end Cadillacs, but I just don't think you would be happier with it, especially when it comes time to fix it. It's just not going to be as reliable. Acuras are made by Hondas, which I'm sure a lot of you know that, but really when you're buying an Acura, you're buying a Honda product. So you've got all that Honda reliability and engineering involved, and I don't think anybody would argue and say that Hondas are not one of the most reliable cars you can buy. If you're looking to buy a luxury car at any price point, you're paying extra for that luxury, okay? There's no doubt about it. You could buy a car that will get you where you need to go just as good as this will, for either you can get a newer one with less miles, or one for cheaper than this. But with that being said, you could go out and buy a newer base model Civic. You could go out and buy a newer base model Accord for the same money as this, with the same miles, a little bit newer. I don't think it would be as nice of a car as this. I would choose this car probably alongside those cars. I wouldn't choose it over a newer car just because you have that knowledge that everything on the car is newer, but I wouldn't discount it over a newer car. I would look them over, see which one is in better shape, see which one has the least amount of mechanical problems or stuff that's about to come up. But I gotta say, you definitely can't argue with the power of this car. If you go and you test drive a Civic for the same money as this car, and then go and test drive a TL that's the same money, even though the TL will have to be older at the same price, you will be sold on the throttle response alone. This thing moves. And it's not a sports car by any means. I mean, it's definitely not the fastest car on the road. But when we're talking, you know, cars for apples to apples comparisons, Mercedes are decent, you know, and they have power too, but something about the way this car puts it out, it just, you push the pedal down and it goes. Bottom line is, for the money, this is probably one of the best cars you can buy, as long as you can get over the age and the miles. I've, you know, driven and owned so many cars, and this thing is definitely one of my favorites. I know that if I'm in the market for a brand new car in the near future, and I'm looking for something at the price point of a BMW or a Mercedes, this is gonna be right there with them, because it's just great. And I didn't think I'd like it this much when I picked it up, I gotta be honest. You know, I picked this thing up expecting it to be just your average Japanese sedan, and you know, I've had Lexuses, and you know, I've had other Acuras. I mean, I had an Integra if you look at my older videos, but they're not this. This is just a whole new level. So if you like this video, please comment, like, and especially subscribe. I'm picking up steam here, making reviews. Expect more reviews on these older used cars, and any feedback is welcome. So see you in the next one.